As a healed chronic overthinker, none of my plans ever worked out. And thinking about this, I'm like, as an overthinker, you never end up getting what you want. Like, you never get a solution, or you end up figuring it out. And if you can relate to overthinking in any type of space, let me know what you think about it in the comments, because I used to think so much. I used to think so much to the point where I felt like there was not enough room in my day or in my life for me to fully process and think about everything that I wanted to think about. Anytime I had a plan, I always had at least up to a plan C if my plan A didn't work out. And I think that's such a huge part in why things don't go the way we want them to, because we don't allow life to just do what it does. We don't give God any space to do what he wants to do in our life, because we always have the plan. And even if our plan fails, we have another one. An overthinker is always going to have a way in and out of a situation. Even when you are down to the wire and you feel like there's nothing else you can do, what you're going to try to do is think your way out of it. And that's so depressing, because sometimes the situation is just so overwhelming that you realize it's too much to think about. So you end up creating a space where you're thinking about it all the time and you're getting nowhere. I remember the first time I saw that quote, I think I heard it from Joyce Meyer years ago. She said, "Worry is like a rocking chair. You can sit in it all day and not get anywhere." And I was like, wow. And I never forgot that. But even still, it didn't stop me from overthinking. At that point, I didn't even realize, but overthinking was something that I had become addicted to. I liked thinking. I liked enjoying my time doing it. And when other things came in my life to start interrupting my thoughts of what I was trying to process or get through, it would irritate me. I think overall, overthinking is natural. It's something that we do as humans to problem solve. It's something that we do in times of worry to make sure that we make the right decision and that everything and the people around us will be okay. But I don't think it's normal. It's not normal to spend all day thinking about something and to think about those things every single day. It's not normal to have so many backup plans. It's not normal to think so deep into a situation that you have 3, 4, 5, 6 possibilities of what could be going on. That's not a good use of our time or a good use of our energy. It takes an actual commitment to yourself and literally to your mental health to stop overthinking. But I'm just thinking like, man, if I had realized sooner that all of my thinking would be for nothing, I think that might have prompted me to stop doing it for so long, a long time ago. There are simply some things that we cannot figure out, and there are some things that we may be able to figure out, but it's literally a waste of time to try to figure it out, because why not let it just unfold? What's really the worst that could happen to you? And then for you to do all that thinking and for you to go about the situation with something you came up and the result is still subpar, it's like, what really did you get out of it? If you just focus on the focal points and let the rest take care of itself, it's like, why are we not realizing how much more peaceful and effective that actually is? We're so afraid. That's what it comes down to. We're so afraid that things are going to fall apart or not go the way we want them to, that we're thinking of all these other roundabouts. It's the control. I wonder if anybody else has had that struggle too, that deals with overthinking. It's the control. When you spend all day trying to figure something out, especially somebody, you want to get control of the situation. No? Because why do you care to that depth? Why do you care to that level? And it's funny because so much of it, especially when it involves other people, can be something that we simply have a conversation about and all transparency just ask about. But it's almost like we prefer to think about it. And then when we do go to get clarity or answers, we think about it some more. Don't get me wrong, I love a good reflection, but I don't think everything is meant to be reflected on. Sometimes you just have to take things for what they are and move on with your life, because you're gonna get again stuck in the cycle of trying to think through or figure out something that's not worth your time. At this point, I feel like my life has gone exactly how it was supposed to, but how much quicker would I have healed and would I have gotten to the point that I am now if I wasn't constantly trying to figure things out on my own? If I wasn't constantly stacking my life up with all of these backup plans in case my plan A didn't work out. And believe me, there were plenty of times where my plan A didn't work out, but it's almost like I'd be disappointed, but I wouldn't stress about it because I knew I had a backup plan. And how disappointing is that? And then not even realizing it, but when I get to a point in my life, I'm sitting there looking around in my life like, how did I get here? Sis, bro. Because all of your backup plans, they were garbage. Nobody ever wants to use the backup plan. We just use the backup plan when we have to figure out something. A backup plan is for emergencies. It's like if something goes wrong or we fail at something, we totally miss the opportunity to start anew or to try something fresh or look at life for what it is, to see what God could be telling us for where we should go. We totally bypass that whole opportunity because we already have our eyes on the next thing, because we already thought about this or thought this through. Or even if we hadn't got to the point where we had a backup plan, we're overthinking in the current moment to try to solve the issue and not looking at what life could be presenting us. Overthinking is a drug that keeps you imprisoned to unhappiness and unfulfillment. And if I catch myself doing it or trying to do it, I just have to put my foot down and tell myself it's gonna be okay. There's a lot of changes that I have coming up in my life, and I could easily slip back into that habit. I think that's partly why I was thinking about it too. There's so many things I have to plan and figure out for the year already. And if I let myself go back to where I came from, I could easily get to a point where I'm overwhelmed and stressed out. But releasing all of that and knowing that I can only do what I can do and let God handle the rest just brings me so much peace. And it's showing me now how much time and space and opportunity I actually have to think about other things and do things that I want to do and just relax. Like, overthinkers are so uptight because we're literally always thinking, especially if you're an introspective type of person. Oh my gosh, I need you to start working on your healing right now. You need you to start working on your healing right now, because it's not going to get you where you think it's going to get you. It's going to get you looking around the room and being like, yo, what did I do? How did I get here? I've been working hard my whole life. How is this my outcome? Because you've been trying to manipulate life the whole time. I know at this point in my life, things have not gone completely the way I wanted to, anywhere close. But I've gotten to a point where I've forgiven myself. I've accepted myself in my story. I've learned lessons. I've apologized. I have forgiven. And all of that stuff in between to open myself up to the present day and to the future. And it's so peaceful here. It's so nice. You just never know what's going to happen. You just never know what's going to happen. And we are so young. I'm early 30s over here. And when I see 20-year-olds talking about how they're afraid to turn 30 and how these 30-year-olds just freaking out about turning 35 or whatever, it's like, thank you God for releasing me from that. You know, I'm set on aging backwards, you feel me? And overthinking is not going to allow me to do that. Okay, sorry y'all, I spoke on the wrong Migo, and Lord knows I do not want to speak death over anybody, so I meant to say Takeoff, and that's who I'm talking about in this next clip. So let's get back to it. When Takeoff got killed, that really opened my eyes. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're really over here tripping about 30 being old? Like, are you kidding me? Barely got a chance to even step his foot into the door at this age. And it's just still wild to me that so many of us know about that and still are tripping. The dude was really a peacemaker, minding his business, and his life ended. The overthinking has got to stop, and it really just takes practice. It really takes repetition. It really takes a trust in the Lord, belief in yourself, that everything really will work out all right. And just, no offense, understand that you don't have all the answers. And even when you come up with an answer, that doesn't mean it's always the right one. Let me know what y'all think. I love y'all so much. Into the next one, and peace and love. I'm out.